Welcome back everyone to Warcraft 3 Reforged, the Prince and the Prophet and the Culling of Stratholme, which actually has changes. At the end of the last video, I didn't realize until after I had recorded it that my microphone wasn't working. At the end of the last video, I just wanted to look at around the terrain, see what's changed, see if the rat that in Reign of Chaos dropped the Talisman of Evasion in the zoo section of Stratholme was still to be found. Apparently not. You know, I checked around, I didn't see it. And I've actually recorded this mission, but I was unhappy with, let's call it, quality. I also lost my temper at some of the shit that Blizzard is doing. And they're either screwing up, it's either incompetence, or a rush schedule, or maybe they're misguided, or maybe they're deliberately messing around with things. I don't think a lot of people have any trust in Blizzard right now with this particular game, considering the dismal state of the beta, of the release, of all the problems. So anyway, the Prince of the Prophet, the Culling of Stratholme, later that afternoon on the road to Stratholme.
Greetings, young prince. We must talk.
I have no time for this.
Listen to me, boy. This land is lost. The shadow has already fallen, and nothing you do will deter it. If you truly wish to save your people, lead them across the sea, to the west.
Flee? My place is here, and my only course is to defend my people.
Then your choice is already made. Just remember, the harder you strive to slay your enemies, the faster you'll deliver your people right into their hands.
I'm sorry for concealing myself, Arthas. I just wanted to...
Don't say it.
I sense tremendous power about him, Arthas. Maybe he's right. Maybe he does know what will happen.
Nothing he can say will make me abandon my homeland, Jaina. I don't care if that madman has seen the future. Let's go.
Again with the walking, really irritating. And all the noises of armor, horses, all that, that clearly aren't the characters making them. It's like just an added sound effect. Whatever. The Culling, early the next morning on the outskirts of Stratholme.
Glad you could make it, Uther.
Watch your tone with me, boy. You may be the prince, but I'm still your superior as a paladin.
As if I could forget. Listen, Uther. There's something about the plague you should know. Oh no. We're too late. These people have all been infected. They may look fine now, but it's just a matter of time before they turn into the undead. This entire city must be purged.
What? How can you even consider that? There's got to be some other way.
Damn it, Uther. As your future king, I order you to purge this city.
You are not my king yet, boy. Nor would I obey that command even if you were.
Then I must consider this an act of treason.
Treason? Have you lost your mind, Arthas?
Have I? Lord Uther, by my right of succession and the sovereignty of my crown, I hereby relieve you of your command and suspend your paladins from service.
Arthas, you can't just...
It's done! Those of you who have the will to save this land, follow me. The rest of you, get out of my sight.
You've just crossed a terrible threshold, Arthas.
Jaina?
I'm sorry, Arthas. I can't watch you do this.
Okay, so change over there. A bit more significant than you might believe initially.
The light is my strength.
They are not they changed Uther's line. They didn't change the line, they changed the placement of the line, I'd rather specify. So, when Arthas says that every single citizen of Stratholme is going to turn into undead, Uther then was supposed to say, and this is what he says in Reign of Chaos, it's like, then he says what? And after Arthas says this entire city must be purged, he gives his other line. But then they change, it's like, he says what after Arthas suggests they purge, after Arthas says they must purge the city, right? So they changed that. Now, I'm thinking in all of this, and I don't think that the people in charge of this have the best intention. Best case scenario, let's be clear, best case scenario, they either thought the flow would be better like that, or maybe that was their intention back then, or maybe they're misguided, whatever, right, and think it's a good idea, right? Worst case situation, the people in charge of the story can't keep their greedy little fingers away from this and screwed things up. And this is the thing. The people that are currently writing Warcraft, whatever you might feel about it, good, bad, mediocre, crap, whatever, I don't have a high opinion of it. Whatever, right? Keep your grubby fingers from Warcraft 3. Because you didn't make Warcraft 3. You didn't make World of Warcraft. These people are just taking the piss on the games that came before, the games that made the Warcraft universe into the juggernaut that it became, the juggernaut that World of Warcraft became. And it wasn't people like Christy Goldston, I can say that much. It wasn't the current writing team. Absolutely is not the case. It was people, it was the talented writers and the people that poured their hearts and souls into the story of Reign of Chaos and Frozen Throne. Okay, let's move into the city. Mal'Ganis is showing up.
I've been waiting for you, young prince. I am Mal'Ganis. As you can see, your people are now mine. I will now turn this city household by household until the flame of life has been snuffed out forever.
I won't allow it, Mal'Ganis. Better that these people die by my hand than serve as your slaves in death.
Alright, so let's deal with him. He's actually a heck of a lot more challenging than he was in the default game.
Forgive me for what I must do.
What a nice change there, though. Like, I actually have to give credit to the people that changed the statue location. It is a line that Arthas does say.
The king's own men are attacking! Run for your lives!
Alright, let's get Mal'Ganis.
I'm your shooter.
Of course.
Now, we need to get him.
A sound plan. Of course. A sound plan. Your Honor.
Now, you'll see what I mean by Mal'Ganis being a heck of a lot more powerful. Yeah, he didn't used to be, well, he actually was able to do Infernal, but I don't believe it was this mission. And he certainly wasn't able to do that. Not like this.
For honor. Certainly. Upgrade complete. A sound plan.
That certainly hurts. I mean, at least I don't remember him being so dangerous with his abilities. But memory is a fickle thing, right?
More gold is required.
Yes, my lord. For the king. Certainly. For honor. Command me. A sound plan.
Sire?
Of course. Betrayer of the light.
All right.
Justice has come. Certainly.
I'll take care of it.
Is my aid
Our
required?
forces are under attack. A sound plan. Certainly.
I've got the beast in my sight.
For honor.
He appears to be a higher level and appears to be more dangerous than he was by default. So the mission ends up being harder. Though there is a catch.
Justice has come.
It's that He drops the ring. He drops random items, so you can get some really good stuff. In this case, not so much, but he can drop like some pretty good solid stuff. I will work on getting knights, a couple of them. But yeah, he also spawns. He seems to spawn with his cooldown on Infernal ready.
Of course.
So he is a bit different there. Right, so I'm gonna drop the claws of attack there. Now there are rats in the houses.
Yes, my lord. Research complete. You are past redemption. For my father, the king. Betrayer of the light. Of course.
Okay.
I come to cleanse this land. Yes, my friend.
Right, so you can't be attacked from the east. That's a dead end. I think in the BlizzCon demo you could, maybe. But anyway, I'm just going to count on the idea that the Dunded base, Dunded being here, that they can't, they can only attack me from this side. And that's going to be the basis of my strategy right here. We're gonna need more farms.
Once more.
Now, for people to understand how the AI works in this, is to understand the scripting, like the priorities. You can really abuse Mal'Ganis' AI, because he will, if you're, you know, say for instance, you end up fighting the zombies, he will turn around, stop whatever he is doing.
Justice has come. Command me.
And come for you.
Go see if somewhere else pop. Best crawl back to your senile father and await the end of your reign.
Of course.
Right, so that's one of the bosses that appears in the Caverns of Time in World of Warcraft. So this is actually a changed mission in quite a few ways. Right, let's go deal. So I've aggroed Mal'Ganis.
Certainly.
At least for a bit. Then I lost that aggro.
Of course. Of course.
Hello there.
Command me. For my father, the king. Yes, my lord.
But yeah, as I said.
Feel my wrath. Foul knave.
He's gonna get some, but I'm not too worried about that.
A sound plan.
Because I can deal with his Infernal.
Certainly.
And then deal with him.
A sound plan. Under siege. For honor. Your honor. At once. Yes, my lord. Certainly. Sire. A sound plan. I am your servant.
Alright, fall back a bit.
I come to cleanse this land. Certainly. Research complete. Your honor. For honor.
Gonna need some workers to repair those towers.
Certainly. Yes, my lord. Right away. A sound plan. What is it? Yes, my lord. Command me. For honor. Yes. Is someone injured?
Alright, going to turn the rifles
Of course.
on the abominations.
A sound plan. Is my aid required? Certainly.
And get inner fire.
Done.
It's mainly really for the mana. I'm not really gonna use inner fire. I don't have the mana. Without access to an archmage, I just can't.
Of course.
Can't really use it there.
For honor. Betrayer of the light. A sound
Right,
plan.
so that's a health stone. Drop the ring of regeneration. Pick up the health stone, because it is the same health regen, but also, of course, the health stone can actually be used.
Yes, my lord.
All right, that's my group one.
Betrayer of the light. For my father, the king. Research complete.
All gold is under attack. All gold is required.
Of course.
Right, so get this
You are
house.
past redemption.
We do have a minute until Mal'Ganis is up on his
sound
feet.
plan.
Basically, you can't afford to lose
Feel
Arthas
my
here
wrath.
in this mission. Not on this difficulty.
More lumber is required.
Also, need...
What is it?
Research complete. Certainly.
Your Honor.
You are past redemption. Foul knave. What haters? For my father, the king.
Upgrade complete. More lumber
What
is
is it?
required.
Research
All right.
complete.
Our forces are under attack.
Of course. For honor.
So I'm at 46,
A sound
Mal'Ganis is at 24, gonna get more
Feel my wrath.
before he's up on his feet.
Ready to work. Yes, me
That's
lord.
not to say you won't gain anything, of course you will.
The king. Certainly. You are past redemption.
Live once more.
Go for you, I suppose. So yeah, the army that I have here...
Feel my wrath. You are past redemption.
More lumber
A
is
sound
required.
plan.
Keep going. We
Of
can
course.
confront him here.
Build more
Not
walls.
necessarily the thing that I really want to do,
For
but...
honor.
I mean, hell, he's in the way, so
Certainly.
might as well do so.
Betrayer of the
Research
light.
complete. Our town is under siege. Upgrade complete.
For honor.
Command me.
You are past redemption. I am your servant. Certainly.
Your Honor.
Someone.
Command me. Our town is under attack.
A sound plan. Of course. Yes, my lord. For honor. Certain right away.
Our town is under
Of
siege.
course. Justice has come. You are past redemption. For honor. A sound plan. Yes, my friend.
Our forces are under
Justice has
attack.
come. You are past redemption. What ails you?
Our town is under
Feel
siege.
my wrath.
Okay, need more knights. Oh, I have suffered
forces
quite
are under
heavily there.
attack.
Gonna keep moving here.
Justice has come.
More work. Our town is under
Foul
siege.
knave.
Build more forts.
Justice has come.
Alright,
Foul knave. Yes, my friend. Is my aid required?
okay, gonna move that one there. And keep moving into the city.
Justice has come. You are past redemption.
And actually, let's just go deal with Mal'Ganis.
What is it? More work. Off I go. What is it?
Feel my wrath. You are past redemption. For my father, the king. Justice has come. You are past redemption.
Job's done.
What ails
Research
you?
complete. Command me. Job's done.
I am your servant.
Be gone, spawn of darkness. Job's done. Job's done.
Of course. What ails you? Betrayer of the light. Right away. For my father, the king. Betrayer of the light.
The real problem here is I'm not catching a break to really regenerate Arthas' mana. So I'm getting overwhelmed over here.
What ails you?
You are past redemption. For my father, the king.
Your Honor, more gold is required.
Is someone injured?
Betrayer of the
I
light.
am your servant.
Yes, my lord. Justice is come.
As you wish.
Sire?
Yes, my lord. Foul knave. Shoot the cow! Betrayer of the light.
What ails you?
Upgrade complete. More gold is required.
For Lordaeron. You are past.
Battling across the streets.
Justice is come.
Someone. I am your servant.
You are past redemption.
Yes, my friend. Right away. I am your servant. Right away.
Justice is come.
All right, that could have been a
ails you?
lot worse. All right, so
Betrayer of the light.
More gold is required. Yes, me lord. What is
we
it?
get some repairs done.
Justice has come. Foul knave. For my father, the king. Feel my wrath. You are past redemption. For my father, the king.
More gold is required. More work. More gold
What have
is
we
required.
done?
Sire? Yes, me lord. More work. I can't build there. Job's done. I can't build there. Yes, me lord. What is it?
Betrayer of the light. For my father, the king. Betrayer of the light. Justice has come. You are past redemption.
Job's done.
I live once more.
Job's done.
Feel my wrath. For my father, the king. Betrayer of the light.
Is someone injured?
Feel my
Our town
wrath.
is under siege.
Betrayer of the light.
Our forces are under attack.
You are past redemption. Foul knave.
Is my aid required?
Our town is under siege. Upgrade complete.
For my father, the king. Justice has
Our
come.
town is under siege.
As you wish. Betrayer of the light.
Is someone injured?
Justice has come.
Yes, my friend. Is my aid required? I am your servant.
Sire?
I swear it. For my father, the king.
As you wish.
Betrayer of the light. Justice has come.
Is someone in?
Command me.
What ails you?
For my father, the king. You are past redemption. Foul knave. You are past redemption.
Sire?
Your honor. Feel my wrath. Command me. Betrayer of the light.
Our forces are under attack.
Your honor. Justice has come.
Sire? More gold is required.
Your honor.
Sire? Inventory is full.
For my father, the king. Justice has come.
Yes, my lord.
You are past redemption. Foul knave. For my father, the king. Betrayer of the light.
Is my aid required?
Feel my wrath. You are past redemption. For my father, the king. Justice has come.
More gold is required.
Hello.
I live once
I kind of
more.
want to get another fight with Mal'Ganis in.
More gold is required.
I know I'm stretching things really tight here, but like I really do feel like he could give me a good item here, so might as well just use that.
Betrayer of the light.
I am your servant.
Now, yes, my wrath. Foul knave.
What ails you? Is my aid required?
Your honor.
What ails you?
Command me.
Is someone in? Sire? More gold is required. Yes, my friend.
Alright.
Yes, my lord.
Yeah, dealing with Mal'Ganis, even though he has... Actually, he doesn't have any upgrades. I mean, he is more powerful, but his units are actually, in a sense, less so. Maybe I should wait for him to spawn again. Maybe I'll get something better than a potion of healing. But no, that was time up, basically. I mean, the defenses could hold here. That's not necessarily the issue, but it's like, yeah,
Betrayer of the
we
light.
pushed it as hard as we could go.
Foul knave.
So that is victory. Actually, fairly enjoyable. Like, if the rest of the game had been like this, I would say, yeah, you know, it's fun. They've done some things. They've improved the gameplay. They've made them more challenging. Solid.
We're going to finish this right now, Mal'Ganis. Just you and me.
Brave words. Unfortunately for you, it won't end here. Your journey has just begun, young prince. Gather your forces and meet me in the Arctic land of Northrend. It is there that we shall settle the score between us. It is there that your true destiny will unfold.
I'll hunt you to the ends of the earth if I have to. Do you hear me?
to the ends of the earth!
Talk about horrible cutscenes, though. And the story decisions, yeah, I am not fond at all of anything like cutscene related right now. I mean, there are some small things, right? I mean, there are some small things that are fine, but overall, it's overwhelmingly negative, I'd say, when I say cutscenes. I'm not talking the pre-rendered one, I'm talking about the things actually happening in game. So those are pretty horrible. And the line change with Uther, it's either they think it's better pacing, or maybe that was some original intent, or maybe a mistake, whatever, right? That's the good case, the best case scenario. Worst case scenario is that the people screwing around with the Warcraft lore are screwing around with this as well, for whatever agenda they have in terms of the story that they want to say. Because, like, let's be clear about Uther the Lightbringer. Great paladin, wielder of the light, complete and utter imbecile, by the way. Like, the fall that Arthas went through, his responsibility, the responsibility of many of the leaders of the Alliance, the fall of Lordaeron, cannot just be pinned on Arthas Menethil. That's the easy way, the simplistic way, the stupid way of telling the story. The way it really happened is that Lordaeron fell because the people running it had no clue what they were doing. They were fools, they weren't willing to take the measures that were needed, etc. And the one person that was willing to do whatever it took, Arthas, was basically isolated and maligned for his actions, which in turn caused them to, you know, resort to more and more extreme measures, which resulted in Pharasborn. I'm not trying to defend Arthas' actions, but there is a reason why events took place the way they did. And the reason why lines, it might seem like changing the location of a line has no real meaningful impact, but it can change the aspect of story. Besides, it just feels out of place. Like, you notice it. Like, I don't know, you know, maybe I should ask someone who hasn't played these games as much as I have. It's like, but these lines to me, like, when I hear them, they just feel so out of place, because they are out of place. Just like them cutting the word hell screaming and putting that in the second mission of the Exodus campaign really feels out of place. So anyway, let's look at the aftermath here. "26 minutes? 27 really, not too bad. Divergent courses 3 days later amongst the ruins of Stratholme. Arthas has left Lordaeron with the fleet, and the other people are left to pick up pieces of what he left behind.
So much death. I can't believe Arthas could have done this.
Jaina Proudmoore!
Lord Uther?
Ah, Jaina. I thought I might find you here. Where has he gone, girl? Where has Arthas taken the fleet?
He came to me before he left. I pleaded with him not to go. I told him it sounded like a trap.
Where?
Northrend. He's gone to Northrend to hunt Morganis.
Damn that boy. I've got to inform King Tyrannus. Don't be too hard on yourself, girl. You had nothing to do with this slaughter.
The dead in this land might lie still for the time being, but don't be fooled. Your young prince will find only death in the cold north.
You! Arthas is only doing what he believes is right.
Commendable as that may be, his passions will be his undoing. It falls to you now, young sorceress. You must lead your people west to the ancient lands of Kalimdor. Only there can you combat the shadow and save this world from the flame.
The new music is fine. The camera work, all that. Stratholme is like when you look at it in Reign of Chaos, the difference there is like it's like a pile of corpses littering the series. Like here, it's like less so. So it's like, yeah, let's make it more kids friendly, I guess, or Asian friendly, I suppose, because Asian like there's restrictions that Blizzard probably wants to work around. So I guess that's part of it. But compared to the other issues, I'll take it. There are many more issues, bigger problems here. It is an issue, don't get me wrong, lowering the death and destruction of a war that basically devastated entire continents and destroyed entire nations doesn't quite fit, right? So at every turn, it's just small things. This is what I would like to stress out. It's not some one issue, unless you're talking about the Illidan versus Arthas cinematic at the end of Frozen Throne, then that is an enormous issue. But like outside of that, it's not one big issue, not one big moment. It's like, oh yeah, this is crap, right? It's cumulative. It's everything adding up together, piece by piece, frustrating you, angering you, the bugs, the glitches, the issues, cinematics, all that. The gameplay is mostly fine, believe it or not. It's just like the story, the characters, the dialogue, etc. It's like, imagine how much worse this would have been if they had actually recorded the new voice acting and tried to make changes, like considering everything that went into it. Now, we don't know the reasons why they abandoned that. They say it's like people didn't want different voices. Some people say they wanted to be done it cheap, like they had initial ambitions and then they abandoned those. We don't quite really know exactly what happened. There's a lot of corporate politics involved in it. What I do know for certain is that whoever is responsible for the cinematics either is making a lot of mistakes, and those are clearly visible, or and with regards to, like, there's been only 2 dialogue changes, let's be perfectly clear. I consider them more significant than maybe they should be, but there's been only 2 dialogue changes. But like the people overall in charge of the direction have done a pretty horrible job, and it just feels like they want to tinker with stuff, and sometimes it works, sometimes it's okay, but it's like most of the time, not so much. Costin here, signing out. Thank you all for watching. And stay tuned for more. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and enable notifications to be aware when I'm uploading new content. I hope to finish uploading it this today, like this entire campaign. Maybe a bit delayed, but I do hope to finish that. And then I'll do it at a slower pace, because I'll be quite frank. At this stage, considering I grew up playing Warcraft 1, 2, 3, my father and my uncles, they got me invested in Warcraft. Like they had it on their my father had a work laptop with Dune and Warcraft on it, and he got me into my uncle. Whenever we would visit him, he was like, I play Warcraft 1, then I eventually got on my own computer and played the hell out of it. So I'm someone who really cares about this series, and it's just like, if Blizzard wants to take the piss on World of Warcraft right now in retail, go right ahead. They can do that, right? But stop screwing around with the old games. Stop screwing with the classics, with the games that redefined not just the strategy game genre, because Dota was born out of this. Dota, League of Legends, all of that come from this game. From Reign of Chaos, Frozen Throne. That is the legacy. This is a game with an enormous legacy, and they can not only can they not add to it, they cannot even retell the story as it was, because they can't help themselves and because they're screwing around with things they shouldn't. And they're taking the piss on the legacy of people that did far, far better, with perhaps not in different circumstances, struggling in their own right with the resources that they had at the time. Costin here, signing out. And if you do like my content, consider supporting me via PayPal, Patreon, YouTube channel membership to help me continue making content. It is certainly worthwhile.